Hey everybody, welcome back to War Budgies. Welcome back to the Jericho Reach campaign, our Warcaster narrative campaign. Today is episode 6, which I find super exciting for two reasons. First of all, this puts us into the second half of the season. This is a 10-episode season. We've had a lot that happened in the first 5 episodes that have brought us to this point, and now we get to start steering towards the big conclusion, and we've got some big stuff planned for that conclusion. Second, this scenario and the terrain and the situation is something I've been thinking about since I first started this Warcaster campaign, and I'm really excited to finally get to the point in the story where I can bring it out. So you'll see what I'm talking about here in a minute. Furthermore, the Collision Course Kickstarter has fulfilled. We got our Collision Course Kickstarter box last week. Very nice stuff. The models are still being painted, so you won't see any Collision Course models in here, but we do have a bunch of the Cypher cards. There were a whole bunch of new Cypher cards, including some faction-specific ones that came out with this set. So this battle report is mostly going to feature those. We've thrown out most of the set and brought these in here. So, hope you guys enjoy today's episode of Jericho Reach.
Taria, I hear Justicar Voss is coming to the Lawgiver to demand answers for the attack. He is, and you've arranged to have him brought by train. An unusual choice. The Justicar needs to see the Reach for himself, and they need to see him. You're using him as bait. That raid on the Marcher Depot, it gave us their communication codes, Wells. This location sunset, where they're coming from. If we know where they'll attack, we can trace them to it. So yes, the Justicar is bait. I fear you've learned too much from Armless, Taria.
All units, the Justicar's train is under attack. Arm up and prepare to deploy.
Void gates charging. Stand by.
Alright, so today we are going to run the train scenario, which is a custom scenario I have wanted to do ever since I first had the idea to do Jericho Reach. So these are some scratch built. This is just cardboard and scrap wood. Mostly, this is a train car. There are 3 sections. They all move, and I'll explain why that's important later. So this is going to represent the Justicar's train screaming across the surface of Jericho Reach with no idea who is teleporting onto the front of it. And here's Team ISA. We are running smaller groups this time because it is a very small battlefield. This is a 5-unit spread. We got Squad 1 with Paladin Aegis. We got the Firebrand in the back, the shooty one. He's got a shoulder-mounted immolator, grenade launcher, the battle rifle with the bayonet, and the Recon Cortex. The Paladin Weaver and Paladin Commander over here on the side. This new guy up front, this is Justicar Voss. He is one of the ISA hero characters. So once he dies, he is out of the game, but killing him might be tricky. He's got 2 melee weapons, his arc blades. So he makes 2 melee attacks. He's got the Relentless rule, just like the AC Scourge does. So when he kills a model, he can move 2 inches. He's also got some shenanigans if he is charged and he is shot at or attacked, he can bounce around, and he's just really hard guy to pin down. Really interestingly though, when he makes an attack, he can put his swords into a specific mode. So he can make them armor piercing, he can reduce our target's armor by 1, he can make it so he removes Cypher cards from that target, or he can add repulsor to his attacks, which could be pretty useful on a very small train. Over on the Marcher World side, we've got a Ranger Fire team. We've got a Dusk Wolf, Rail Rifle, Battle Rifle, Ripper, and Scout Cortex. We've got a Weaver, we've got a Hunter, and we've got the Marcher World's hero of the day. This is Artemis Fang. So much like Justicar Voss, she has 2 scary weapons, her arc lock pistols, and she can also choose weapon modes. So when she makes an attack, she can choose if that attack will have blast, fire, or can ignore stealth. She can also, when she's charged, she ignores cover, and she can spike to make another round of attacks once she is done. So she's a very shooty, kind of a glass cannon, but still very dangerous. And we're all set up for the train scenario. Each side is allowed to deploy anywhere within their respective cars. So here at the back of the train, we've got Squad 1, the Aegis, Justicar Voss, and the Paladin Weaver. At the front of the train, we've got a Hunter, we've got Artemis, the Dusk Wolf, and the Coalition Weaver. Now the way the train scenario works is relatively straightforward. It's just the spontaneous combustion scenario played on some really weird terrain. So for each side there are 3 markers, 3 objectives. The one closest to them is worth 1 point, the one in the middle is worth 2 points, the one on their opponent's car is worth 3 points. And those will be tallied up at the end of each pulse round. The distances and line of sight are going to change a lot because the train is still moving. So any model that falls off the train is going to immediately be lost into the distance, and the train itself is going to change direction at the beginning of each player's turn. We determine that by rolling a d6. On a 1 or 2, the leading car will turn 45 degrees to the left. On a 3 or 4, it will stay straight. On a 5 or 6, it will turn 45 degrees to the right. At the beginning of the next turn, we'll roll for a new facing for the lead car, but the second car will then turn 45 degrees to match the orientation. So the way the front car moves is going to ripple down to the back of the train. This does impart some advantage to being at the back of the train because you'll be able to see the moves coming. So in exchange, we're going to let the Marcher Worlds go second since we're scoring at the end of the pulse round. If that sounded kind of complicated, don't worry, we will walk you through it once it happens. But until then, let's move into pulse round 1. To start of pulse round 1, the train is going to move. Lead car is going to the left. So lead car has moved 45 degrees and we're going to go into ISA turn 1. ISA Warcaster immediately charges the Aegis in order to give that bubble of cover to squad 1. And we'll see the first of the new Cypher cards as the Warcaster plays Eschatonic Well. This is, as you can see from the icon, this is an ISA only Cypher card. We target a friendly warrior model. In this case, we're going to use the Weaver. And we can place a Void Gate anywhere within 5 inches and charge it up to 3 arc. Importantly though, once that card is played, it is removed from the game and not added to discard. So we're going to use it to throw some early gates around, dropping 1 up here into this corner with the requisite 3 arc. First activation is going to be the Paladin Weaver, scooting up to take cover behind these boxes. Followed by squad 1, who is just going to shift up slightly. So in order to maintain somebody on the objective. It may only be worth 1 point, but that's our point. We are out of range for any Fury Ciphers. Just in case anyone was curious, these train cars are 12 inches long each. So we're going to go straight to the deployment phase. Now usually in turn 1 there would be no deployment phase because there's been no gates. But thanks to Eschatonic Well, we have a gate. And we have a Firebrand and a Paladin Commander, which means the entire ISA army is now packed into half of a train car. The Paladin Weaver projects the gate forward about 5 inches and puts 2 arc on it, just as a redundancy. That is the ISA turn. Let's move on to Marcher Worlds turn 1. Before we move the lead car, we need to change the second car is now going to adopt 45 degrees to the left in relation to this one. The lead car moves straight. The lead car is straightened out, second car is following, third car now has the 45-degree turn. We're moving into Marcher Worlds. ISA Warcaster is going to charge the Dusk Wolf because problems need to be solved. And they're going to play a Marcher World specific card called the Cortical Rampager. So again, this is a Marcher World specific, you can see in the corner there. It allows a Warjack to move up to 5 inches, ignoring all warrior models during its movement. So he ends up at the front of the car. The Dusk Wolf is going to go first. He'll shuffle up just to the edge of the train car just so that he can get out of the way of his buddies. And the Mark II Problem Solver is an 18-inch weapon, so he's going to shoot it across into the Firebrand. First shot of the game, Rat 4, 1 arc charge. Beautiful, 5 strikes. Firebrand is in cover, but we have the Scout Cortex charge, so no cover for you. 3 defense. Impressive defense, blocks it. In a flash of light, a giant piece of the train goes flying away, and everyone realizes this situation's serious. But otherwise, no other weapons are in range, so he will go there. And the Speed 7 Hunter is going to scamper out, since the train cars are close right now, ending right here on the edge of this one. And he's going to put a shot into the Void Gate. Rat 6, because it's ridiculous. Only 2 strikes. Void Gate defense 3, blocks it. He'll take his Ranger shenanigan move, 3 inches, just tucked behind there. Secondary cipher card is going to be to charge the Duskwolf with the Vengeance Sequencer. The way this works, this lasts until the end of the pulse round or until it's triggered. Focus there. And if he is targeted and hit by an attack, he gets to make an attack in return. Up front, the Hunter is going to drop a gate and put 3 arc on it. That's it for Marcher World's turn 1. Let's move on to ISA turn 2. Move the front car, the second car is straightened out, so the third one is going to also fall into line. And front car rolled a move of 45 degrees to the right. Start of the turn, ISA Warcaster puts an arc onto Voss, which ups his survivability from okay to ridiculous. Then we'll play the Dominion Imperative, so each friendly solo can immediately move up to 2 inches. That's going to be the Paladin Weaver, Paladin Commander, and Voss. Up front, the Paladin Commander is going to hop over the gap, making a 6-inch move up to behind these boxes. She's not actually a huge fan of this, and that's because while she has cover right now, at the start of the next turn, odds are this train is going to align with the front, so all of a sudden that Duskwolf is going to have a clean shot. But you got to advance up somehow. She'll fire her pulse cannon from her shoulder at the Void Gate. Rat 4? Not a chance. So the gate will just take a blast damage, roll, POW 3. Yeah, still not. Come on. There we go. The Big Stompy Robot will do Big Stompy Robot things. He has the Pathfinder, he doesn't care about rough terrain, so he's going to hop up on top of these boxes. From his vantage point, he's going to put his grenade launcher into the Void Gate and his immolator and battle rifle into the Duskwolf. Rat 4 with the grenade launcher into the Void Gate. Alrighty then. This is the Void Gate that will not be moved. Blast damage, POW 3. Nothing on that. I think he's still with the training rounds in that one. We're going to shoot the immolator next into the Duskwolf. Rat 4. That's more like it, 4 strikes. Defense 3 in cover. And 1 gets through. The POW 5, 1 power die against armor 4. And he can't break him. But he was targeted and hit. That will immediately trigger Vengeance Sequencer. So he will retaliate with the rail rifle. Before I forget, he is also on fire. Rat 3 because on fire, plus 1 arc. Nice. 6 strikes. Firebrand could still block it though if he rolls like last time. He does not. 3 get through. Being good opportunity, he's going to spike to drop the Firebrand's armor down to 2 for this attack. POW 5 with 3 red die, armor 2. Beautiful. 1, 2, 3. See, and he's glad he did. Nice little exchange of fire, some shots back and forth. The immolator lances out, filling this compartment with fire. And from the flames, a shot rings out, tearing right through the cortex. And he tumbles off, being left behind by the train. So that 2-inch move earlier got the Paladin Weaver within 12-inch range of the Duskwolf. He's going to fire off Volition Anchor. This is another one of the new ones. Essentially, it does no damage, but if it hits, they suffer -1 armor, and friendly models can reroll attack rolls against them. It expires at the end of the pulse round. Focus 4 with 3 arc in the well. Yeah, 4, not bad. Defense 3 in cover. And he blocks it. So a somewhat unusual order of events here, since Vengeance Sequencer killed the Firebrand during the ISA player's turn, he's just going to reappear out of this gate. He's dangerously close to being slammed off into oblivion, but he is back, and the Paladin Commander drops another gate up here behind this crate. Rolled a left-hand move for the lead car, which puts the train into this sort of a zigzag pattern, moving into Marcher World's turn 2. On the Marcher World's turn, they will charge up Artemis Fang with 1 arc. And not having a whole lot of help in the Cypher deck right now, she and her speed 7, she'll move 2 inches up to the top of the crate, and 5 inches down to enter the fight here. She's going to load a fire round into her arc lock pistols and shoot. We'll start with 1 at the Paladin Commander. Here's a Rat 6 with 1 arc charge. And nicely done, 5 strikes. Is charged and ignores cover, so the Paladin Commander is defense 3. Oh, that's not good. POW 3, 3 red die against armor 3. And 2 down, that's it. As the flaming corpse falls off the side of the train and is swiftly left behind. She'll then turn her attention to putting shots into the void gate. Rat 6 as before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 strikes. Void gate defense 3. Oh, 6 strikes get through. Trying to break armor 5. Armor 5 broken once. That strips 1 arc from the gate. Just because she's having a good time, she will spike, which enables her to make an additional attack with each weapon. Furthermore, the void gate is on fire, which is actually kind of a first here on War Budgies, and has to be super intimidating for anyone about to jump through the gate. At 6, and she's going to switch to blast rounds just in case she misses. Very nice. Gate does get cover now though because she is no longer charged. And only blocks 4. POW 3, 2 red die. Wow, alright, nothing on that one. Next shot. It's a good 6 strikes. Defense. Very good defense, very defensive gate here. 1, 2, 3, blocked. POW 3 from the blast. Very close, but not quite. And the Coalition Weaver will shuffle in, keeping a foot on objective 3. He will attempt to drop a Pyrokinetic Surge, it's a classic, onto the Shooty Firebrand. Focus 4, 4 arc in the well. Good freaking shot. Firebrand in cover. Good defense, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. No, not quite enough. The 2 strikes got through, POW 3 against armor 3. And he takes 1 and is on fire. And from our 2 arc gate, a squad will come forth. They are ready to throw down with some flaming on fire firebrands. Expectation, things are about to get kind of frisky here on the main train car. Artemis is dropping another gate with 3 arc. Train is moved again and we are over to ISA for their final turn for this pulse round. Warcaster is going to charge the Firebrand with 1 arc. And the Weaver is going to throw Paralytic Disruptor. This is a POW 4 attack that also inflicts the Lockdown continuous effect. He's going to be targeting the Ranger up there on top of the crates. Focus 4 with 3 arc in the tank. Not a bad roll. 5 strikes. Ranger has the high ground. And 1 strike gets through. POW 4, 1 strike against armor 3. And they're down. They've been both paralytic and disrupted. Justicar Voss is going to get in the fight. He has a straightaway shot with speed 7. Steady. Moving up there. Unfortunately, he's just outside the range of this thing, and he has no ranged weapons. So we're going to go over to the Firebrand next. He's going to put the battle rifle into the Ranger in front of him. Killing Mat 3 with the bayonet because he is on fire. 1 arc charge. Oh, he's angry. He's angry. Ranger defense 3. 2 of them get through. Bayonet is POW 3, which is a little funny given the size of the one wielding it. And Ranger down. Bayonet drops this guy. The battle rifle is then going to go into the model behind him. At 3 as before. 2 strikes. Defense 3. Nothing. Firebrand finally pulling his weight here. And Ranger down. That cleans out that squad. He's going to shoot the grenade launcher at the Hunter, who is in cover. At 3 as before. 3 strikes. Hunter's defense 4 and in cover. And blocks it. It is POW 3 against armor 2. And he's down anyways. Gonna roll the grenade behind the boxes, wait for the puff of smoke and other tidbits. Problem solved. And finally, the Immolator is gonna go into his old nemesis, the Duskwolf. Still Rat 3. 5 strikes. Duskwolf in cover. Blocks 3, 2 get through. Immolator is POW 5 against armor 4. Oh, hey, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 out of 3 health. And if he wasn't on fire enough before, he is now. So Firebrand, that closes out the Firebrand, freaking MVP of the train car for Pulse Round 1. Gonna burn to death now that I've said that, I just know it. And we're gonna set him up with Retribution Intercessor, which is sort of like the Vengeance card from earlier. But instead of attacking him, if a warrior model, a friendly warrior, is destroyed within 5 inches, he gets to move 3 inches and then attack, after which this card is discarded. Over here, the Flaming Sphere of Void Energy is gonna blink out. And Paladin Commander back in the field. ISA, the Weaver, will drop a gate here with 2 arc. Priority for turn 1 is just to secure the middle car, which honestly the ISA has done a great job of so far. However, at the start of the Martial World's turn, everyone has a token, so we're going to go to a clean slate. We're going to put an arc charge on Artemis Fang as she reloads her pistols and starts to look at her options. First, I got too excited, it's time to move the train. Lead car is staying straight. So at the end of the pulse round, just like at the start of the pulse round, we have a perfectly straight shot. And Artemis is going to get Penumbral Obscuration. Privateer, I think you're just messing with me at this point. So she will ignore movement penalties in rough terrain, and while she's in rough terrain, she will gain stealth. If it a Deja Vu, she's going to put a fire bullet into the Paladin Commander. Rat 6 with an arc charge. Beautiful. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Paladin defense 3. Only blocks 2. When he gets armor 3. We need like a Artemis Fang kill counter in the bottom corner or something. Right out the Void Gate and return to sender. Her next shot is going to be at Voss himself just to start their little duel. Rat 6, 1 arc. Not a bad shot. 2, 4, 6. But Voss has his own tricks. He's going to spike, use Void Jumper. He ignores all effects and damage from the attack and can be repositioned anywhere within 8 inches. So he will blink from existence, reappear safely behind cover from the Dusk Wolf, and holding objective 2. That puts Artemis in a problematic position. She has speed 7, so she's going to move up to contest objective 2. The problem is Artemis is not a melee character and Voss is, and he can probably slice her up pretty fast. So her main hope is going to rest with the Dusk Wolf. Dusk Wolf is going to move 2 inches up, scamper on top of this, as much as a Dusk Wolf can scamper anywhere. Give him a nice line of sight over Train Car 2. He's going to unload basically all he's got into Voss. Now he is not charged, so Voss will still get plenty of cover, but Voss is no longer charged, so he can't use his little void jumping shenanigans. At 3 for being on fire with the rail rifle. 2 strikes. Voss's defense 4 and in cover. He blocks it. Shooting with the battle rifle. Nothing. Well, not a lot of help in the cipher cards, but this gate has 3 arcs, so it is more than enough to spit out the hunter and the squad who are waiting in the wings. It's them all out over here, and Artemis will drop a gate, 3 arc, here at the end of the train car, starting to muscle in on squad 1's territory. That wraps up Pulse Round 1, so scoring 1 point for ISA, 1 point for Martial Worlds. Nobody controls number 2. That is a very bold and possibly sacrificial move on Artemis's part, but she did deny objective 2 for now. So we're going to roll for, what do we got, 2 units on fire, and let's see how this goes. For the Dusk Wolf, he's already taken 2 damage, so if this shows any strikes, he's dead. He's dead. The flames finally melt through the wiring and cables, and he just slumps down. Firebrand has taken no damage yet. And the fire goes out. Our 1 lucky Warjack. So we're going to clear the board, move the train 1 more time, and get going with Pulse Round 2. For Pulse Round 2, the lead car takes a left-hand turn, and the ISA Warcaster, unsurprisingly, will charge Voss. The expectation this squad will be taking fire this round, they're going to get the Consecration Directive. So for the rest of the Pulse round, since they are securing an objective, they add a power die to their defense rolls, and if they are missed by an enemy attack, the effective model can make 1 melee or ranged attack in return. There's a lot of reprisal retaliation stuff in the new Collision Course cards, and I kind of like it. Justicar Voss is going to try to earn his title and clear some space on this car. He's going to attack into Artemis with his swords. He is Mat 5, but given the positioning right now, he's going to add the repulsor effect to this next attack. Mat 5, 1 arc. That's a good shot. 5 strikes. Artemis is defense 4. And can't quite stop it. So she is flung off the train, and being a hero, she will not be able to be brought back. Voss is going to use his relentless rule. He gets to move 2 inches now that he's destroyed a model in melee. He will step up onto this crate, big and heroic, and to attack, say, this first ranger. Mat 5. Good shooting. By shooting, I mean stabbing. That's a lot of strike through. That is POW 5 on his swords, plus 5 strikes. I can't even pick them all up. Yeah, that's just a mess. That is a ranger down, and using his relentless, he'll move 2 inches again, dropping down into cover. Firebrand moves up next. Since the train cars have moved, he doesn't have enough movement to clear, in order to clear that gap, so he's going to park it there. Going to put bayonet and battle rifle into the nearest ranger. He has 1 arc and is no longer on fire. Yay. 3 strikes. Defense 3. 2 get through. POW 3. I don't think that's enough. Nope, ranges armor 3. So he's going to shoot with his assault rifle. Only 1 strike. His target has the high ground and blocks it. Mildly disappointed with that, he's going to put the immolator into the Weaver. Rat 4. 3 strikes. Defense 4 on the Weaver. Oh, blocks it easily. And you were doing so good at the beginning. All right, he's going to put his grenade launcher into the nearest ranger. Gotta drop somebody this round. Any day now. Wow, that was disappointing. And defense. Defense block. Last chance. POW 3 blast damage against armor 3. Hey, just manages to get somebody. Dice gods have turned on you, Firebrand. Good luck. At the end of that showdown, they'll use Impulse Inducer to remove the activation token. Void Gate will drop 1 arc in order to bring back the Paladin Commander. Again. And Voss will drop a 2 arc gate in behind the Warjack. End of ISA turn 1. They've pretty well secured train car number 2, depending on what comes out of this gate. We all know what's about to come out of that gate. So let's go ahead and move the train and see where we're at. The train holds his left-hand turn, so we now have a nice little arc going on. Speaking of arc, we're going to drop 1 onto the Hunter. They're going to play Reclamation Principle onto the Ranger over there. So this will normally be for a unit, they gain +2 mat, and if they destroy someone, they can heal up a nearby Warjack. Not worried about the Warjack right now, we just want the +2 mat. This heroic individual is going to leap up onto the crate and bring a knife to a sword fight, trying to stab Voss. He is Mat 5 now, thanks to that card. Oh, well done, 6 strikes. Voss's defense 4. And he blocks it. He's having none of this. It's a neat little sword parry. And the Hunter is going to advance up to here. He's not concerned right now because Voss still has the activation token, and he'll fire away with his rifle. At 6. Wow, the dude with the knife really showed you up there, dude. Defense 4 on Voss. Yeah, he doesn't care. For his ranger move, he will duck back around behind the crates, mostly out of concern for the sword-wielding commander. Meanwhile, the Coalition Weaver is going to throw a new card. This is called Havoc Spiral. If you hit and damage the enemy model, you can bring them towards you until they contact a model obstacle or structure. So it's like the opposite of a slam. Focus 4 with 3 arc in the tank. Very nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 strikes. Firebrand defense 3. 1 strike. Armor 3 against 6 strikes and defense 3. Only takes 1 health, but that is not the problem. The problem is he is now drawn directly towards the model. So he hovers along until he collides with an obstacle, at which point he stops, drops down, and the train does a little ka-thunk as it runs him over. And more good news, the gate over here spits out the Dusk Wolf, leaving it with 1 arc left on that gate. And the Ranger Fire Team guy will drop a gate here. Let's say 3 arc on it. Alright, at the end of turn 1, it is getting really crowded on the center card here. So Voss chewed through a bunch of guys, hasn't made a whole lot of progress since then though. The Firebrand was doing good. The little Havoc Spiral dropped him off into oblivion. We got the Dusk Wolf starting to corner in on squad 1, but they are ready for him, hopefully. We'll find out going into turn 2. Rolled a 1 for the train, so it is holding its long left-hand turn, and we'll move into ISA. Warcaster charges the Paladin with 1 arc. And Voss will get the Photochimeric Mantle, so he gains stealth, which is good news because he doesn't want to suffer the same fate as that Firebrand. Getting off of squad 1 is going to unload their shots into that Firebrand. We're at 3 with 1 arc. 2 strikes. Dusk Wolf is in cover. And blocks it. Second shot. 4 strikes. Dusk Wolf defense. Oh wow, 3 get through. Pow 4 against armor 4. And he takes 1. Shot number 3. 2 strikes. Defense 3. Blocks it. Finally, the Aegis. 2 strikes. Defense. More than 2. Oh, there was an attempt. They are going to retreat back a bit. The original intention of them was to see if they would be able to push up forward, but with Dusk Wolf there, they want to put some distance. Paladin Weaver is going to move up as the solo and put his Null Hammer into the gate. At 3. 3 strikes. Defense 3. All right, 1 gets through. Null Hammer immediately removes 1 arc. Power 4 from the hammer itself, 1 power die versus armor 5. Nothing. Not a ton of help from the Cypher deck because we are getting towards the end of it. So we're going to relaunch the Firebrand. Somewhat ironically, from the exact same position as before. Staring down the Weaver, let's do this again. And what is by now the traditional 2 arc gate, Voss will toss behind the Hunter and load up. So as usual, a lot going on here. The biggest thing to happen now is we have a Warjack at the opposite ends of the train car. So those things can cause a lot of damage. We'll see if they can free up some of these objectives. Possibly bad news for the Weaver there. The train has straightened out at the front so that Warjack has a much cleaner shot now. Speaking of Warjacks, Marcher World Warcaster will charge 1 arc there. And we use the Devastation Optimizer. This will basically give him the tune-up as if he had an engineer buddy. That gives him +1 Mat, Rat, and Defense, I believe. It's +1 Mat, Rat, Strength, and Defense. Since he is now speed 6, he has no problems hopping the gap and ending up in a face-off with Squad 1. I put the Ripper into the nearest one. He is Mat 5 now with tune-up, +1 arc. Pretty good shot. The Aegis' shield doesn't help them with cover against melee, but they do have the Consecration Directives, so they add, dropped a die. So they add 1 power die to the defense roll, and if he misses, they get to retaliate, or that 1 guy retaliates. Oh, that was not a miss. It is POW 4, and 4 strikes, and he gets them. First Paladin down. Because the Ripper has a cleave rule, he'll immediately make another melee attack against the next guy. Still at Mat 5. Man, this guy's angry. It's 8 strikes, so it's mathematically possible, but highly unlikely. We're just going to go ahead and remove him. No, we're not, because John wants to see a bunch of dice. Now we're going to remove him. Put the battle rifle into the next Paladin. Alright, 4 strikes. Shooting the Paladin Aegis, excuse me. Because of that stupid bubble gives them cover, and then Consecration Directive, they get to keep a red die. So 4 strikes versus 4 strikes, so it missed. Because it missed, the Aegis gets to retaliate per Consecration Directive. Sad face. Defense 3. Oh, it hits anyways. It just really wants to spike in order to slam this guy backwards, but it would just send him into the barricade. If that thing wasn't there, he could just totally just throw him off this platform. POW 3, 1 strike against armor 4. Nothing. He did hit, so the Duskwolf has -2 speed. Lockdown. Duskwolf also still has his rail rifle, so back into the Paladin Aegis. 5 strikes. Defense 3, cover and consecration. Not quite. 1 gets through. So it's going to be POW 5 with 1 strike, and he's going to spike to bring his armor down to 2 just because we really need this guy dead. And he's fine. He's fine, meaning the Duskwolf. The Aegis is not. He's not okay. But the Aegis did soak up enough firepower that the objective is still contested. After some consideration, the Weaver is going to duck around out of sight behind this crate. Mostly because they can't produce anyone out of a void gate right now because everyone's on the board, for the most part. RIP, 2/3 of that squad. Which means next turn the Martial Worlds will get to reset all their activation tokens. Next round will also be turn 3, so hopefully he can just step out and reclaim that objective. Then we're going to play Grimian Tormentor on the Weaver. So this means that when an enemy Warjack ends within 2 inches, they suffer the System Failure continuous effect. Unless he gets very unlucky with the movement of the train, which he does, as the front car moves 45 degrees relative to the next car. With that, we are set up for a fierce turn 3 as everyone is going to be clawing for control of this objective. And we've got the Duskwolf within spitting distance of this objective. Let's move on to ISA, turn 3. ISA is going to charge the Firebrand with their last arc from the well. And the Weaver is going to throw Velocity Projector at the Ranger perched up there on high. Focus 4, no arc in the tank. That's probably not going to miss. Red die for the high ground. It's a miss. Paladin Commander does not have enough movement to be a hero just yet, so she's going to shoot her Pulse Cannon first into the Duskwolf. Shoulder Cannon, Rad 4 with an arc charge. Okay, pretty healthy, 5 strikes. Duskwolf is defense 4 with tune-up. And blocks 4, 1 gets through. POW 3, trying to break armor 4. Not quite. Now this guy's got a bit of an issue, because if he wants to claim that objective, he's going to have to move his full 6 inches, which is doable. He'll just barely get within an inch of it. But he's then going to be within the range of the System Failure effect, and possibly subjected to a nice repulsor attack from that battle staff. But nothing ventured, nothing gained. We are big heroes here. He's going to bring up, drop within just about an inch, and we'll see how this goes. I had to check it, the Tormentor goes off at the end of the activation, so he'll get 1 shot with basically his whole arsenal to try to get rid of his Weaver. Starting with the Assault Rifle Bayonet, because he's going to get cover from everything else. And we are on mat 4. Nice, 6 strikes. Weaver defense 4. Blocks 4, 2 get through. Armor 3 in the Weaver. And 1 health. That doesn't bode well. We're going to open up with the Battle Rifle next. Assault Rifle, excuse me. Only 2 strikes. Defense 4, cover from the cargo crate. He blocks it. Immolator. 3 strikes. Buddy, you might have to do better than that. Defense 4. He blocks that one too. Finally, the Grenade Launcher. This ought to finish him. That's better. 5 strikes. Defense 4 and cover. Wow. All right, well, he blocks it, but we still get the blast damage. Here it is, POW 3 against Armor 3 for control of this objective. And he can't do it. We got 1 good shank in, and that's it. All the shots just either missed, went out the door, or peppered into that cargo crate. Final suffer card, the Weaver's going to try to use Paralytic Disruptor to finish off, maybe, hopefully do something to this Duskwolf. Focus 4, no arc in the tank. 2 strikes. Defense 4 with tune-up. Blocks it. With nobody to spit out of a void gate and no void gates to set up, we're going to go into moving the train. Lead car is going to move. He's going to stay to the right. It's the whole train into a hard right turn as we go into Marcher World's turn 3. Now here's the situation. Currently, ISA control that one, and they control that one too, and this one's contested. So right now the Marcher Worlds are really in the hole, but they have the opportunity to do a whole lot here depending on what they can wrangle. So he's got to get that firebrand off of there, probably with some sort of repulsion. That would be your best bet. They've got to at least contest or get rid of Voss over here, and they have to get rid of this guy. So let's see how it goes moving into Marcher Worlds turn 3. At the start of the turn, all the Marcher World units have gone, so we're going to clear off the activation tokens. All right, so at the start of the Marcher World's turn, they're actually not going to charge anyone because all the key players are already charged, and they're going to want everyone in the well for what's about to happen next. So the Coalition Weaver is going to throw a Velocity Projector onto the Firebrand. They have 3 arc in the well. Excellent shot, 5 strikes. Firebrand technically has cover from the same crate. And just shy, 4 strikes. As he's slammed 3 inches back and right out the open door. It was honestly a pretty good gamble if he hadn't whiffed all of his attacks against the Weaver. Now the Dusk Wolf is going to swing into action, and by swinging into action, I mean he's going to try to obliterate the guy in front of him. He's at mat 5 with the Ripper, but no arc anymore because he spiked last turn. Good swinging. Paladin is still under consecration, so he'll get a bonus red die. But 2 strikes get through. Power 4, 2 strikes against armor 3. Oh, not quite enough. Objective's worth a lot. He's getting kind of nervous here. Shooting at him with the battle rifle. 2 strikes. Defense 3. He blocks it, which means per consecration directive, he gets to counterattack. At 3 with the assault rifle. 1 arc. 3 strikes. Defense 4 on the Dusk Wolf. Blocks it. Dusk Wolf is running out of options. He'll use the Mark II problem solver. Fire the rail rifle at like point blank range. Rat 5. Only 2 strikes. Can he do it? He blocks it. Retaliation shot from consecration. Excellent shot. 5 strikes against defense 4 for the Dusk Wolf. And 4 strikes get through. 4 strikes, POW 4 against armor 4. If he can somehow get 8 strikes, he can knock this guy down. Okay, he didn't take any health off, but still, moral victory. That's it for his attacks. He'll shuffle in a bit closer. Don't want to get near the doors. But yeah, completely failed to secure this objective. We still have a solo move, so let's do some super Marcher World stuff here. The Ranger, in his 7-inch move, he's going to come up to the top of this little crate, and he's going to try to snipe away the Paladin. Rat 6 with an arc. That is better than your last roll, buddy. 2, 4, 6, 7 strikes. He counters 7 strikes. Not even close. 5 strikes, POW 4. Paladin down. More importantly, that means that the Dusk Wolf is now securing the objective. At the end of his turn, so now that he's done a ranged attack, he's going to drop down to here. Probably going to get eaten alive by Voss. But for right now, he is going to contest that objective, meaning they won't get it. And with not much to show for in the Cypher deck, they're going to call it for this pulse round. That grabs pulse round 3. The only scoring we're going to do, nobody is within range of objective 3. Objective 2 is contested. Objective 1, however, gives the Marchers 3 points for holding it with the Dusk Wolf. Absolutely fantastic play. So we move into pulse round 3. So at the end of the pulse round, the Dusk Wolf is under both the tune-up and lockdown effects. So let's roll for lockdown. Lockdown expires, tune-up expires. I say Warcaster is going to put 1 arc onto this gate, bringing it up to 2. And all the cipher cards have to do with either warjacks or squads, so we're just going to get straight into the madness here. Starting off with our boy, Justicar Voss. He's going to try to clean house in this area. He's going to swing his sword into the hunter first. Mat 5 with an arc. Lovely shot. Using the armor piercing on this one because the repulsor wouldn't help a whole lot given the situation. Defense 4 on the hunter. D4 5, not quite, 1 gets through. 1 gets through on POW 5, he's down to armor 1 thanks to the earlier shot. And he's out. Hunter is out. Voss will take a relentless move up onto these containers. Second attack going into the ranger. 4, pretty good. Defense 3. Only 2. POW 5 swords against armor 3. He's down. Voss doing what Voss does best in skirmish missions. Take another 2-inch move to here. And then we'll measure up a 7-inch move into the train car, being very wary of the murder-happy Weaver in there, as he tucks himself into this little corner. Paladin Commander moves up, and she'll put her sword into the Duskwolf. Mat 4 with an arc. Not a bad shot, 4 strikes. Defense 3. Only 1 gets through. POW 4 against armor 4. Can't quite do it. Shooting her pulse cannon, because that seems like a good idea. Not bad. Defense 3 against 3 strikes. Okay, 2 get through. POW 3, 2 strikes against armor 4. Still nothing. POW 3 against the commander's compound armor of 4 because she is in the blast zone. And she's fine. She's fine in a relative sense because she's having trouble with this guy, not even scratching the paint, whereas Voss is just cleaning house on this end of the show. And honestly, it's pretty empty right now. Like that, just the tail end of that last turn just really cleaned this place out. You can fix that as the gate spit out a firebrand, squad 1, and Voss drops a 3-arc gate deep into the car on the Martial World's end of the board. That pretty much wraps it up. We're going to move the train and go into Martial World's turn. Train cars have moved again into kind of a zigzag, which is not great news for Voss. He is more than 3 inches from the edge here, but if they have just 2 knockbacks in their arsenal, they can get rid of him in a hurry. They're going to charge. Let me turn them around. There you go. They're going to charge the Duskwolf with 1 arc because he's got to hold this position. And the Weaver's going to try to throw Pyrokinetic Surge onto Voss. Focus 4, 3 arc in the tank. Astounding hit. Keep spinning. 2, 4, 6, 8 strikes. His defense 4, cover from the crate. Oh my god. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He blocked it. What is this guy made of and why is he not leading squad 2? Here Duskwolf is going to put the Ripper into the Paladin Commander. 4, 1 arc. Not a bad opener, 5 strikes. Defense 3 on the Commander. Box 3, 2 get through. POW 4, 2 red die. And she takes 1. Before you can say you're going to have to do better than that, he's going to spin up the battle rifle. Rat 4. Only 3 strikes. Can she block it? She can. As much as he really wants to shoot the rail rifle into the commander, honestly, he's got other priorities at hand. The rail rifle is going to go into the firebrand. Rat 4, 1 arc. Oh, that may not work. Let's be the problem solver, not the problem creator. The good news is no cover because the Cortex is charged. Defense 3. He blocks it. In the Weaver's position, he really does not want to engage in fisticuffs with Justicar Voss. I mean, really doesn't. But he's got to do something, and for the moment at least, the ISA doesn't have anyone to bring through that gate. So he's going to try to be the big hero, step around, and slam, or try to, swing his battle staff. At 3. That's not going to bode well. Voss back in defense 4. Easy. the end of that activation, we're going to play Impulse Inducer on the Duskwolf, just to rearm it for next round. From this spot in the corner, a hunter will emerge, collapsing that gate. And a squad emerges from this gate. That's where we're at the end of turn 1. The ISA is trailing by 3 points, so they really need to get rid of this Duskwolf. They would love to keep control of this, but that's getting crowded again. And the big play down here is Voss. Again, there's nobody to bring out the gate yet, but it's Voss versus the Weaver. Moving into turn 2, ISA. On the ISA turn, the Warcaster charges squad 1, and we'll drop Techish. I'm not even going to try. They gain +2 rat, mat, and defense, so it's like tune-up for a squad. And that will expire at the end of the pulse round, which is the end of the game. Paladin Weaver will move up to secure this objective, because we are running out on the clock, and will shoot his handgun into the Ranger squad. Rat 3. Gotta put some bullets in there next time. Paladins are going to take advantage of the new configuration of the train, and are going to run across this gap. Sort of form up here, around the Justicar. And they're going to start shooting. First shots are going to go into, you guessed it, the Weaver. At 5 with 1 arc. 2 strikes. Defense 4 on the Weaver. He blocks it. Second shot, Rat 5. That's more like it. 4 strikes. Defense 4. 3 get through. Armor 3 to kill. And they don't. All these bullets. It was supposed to be your hero moment, guys. Last dude. Impressive 5 strikes. Defense 4. Okay, 3 strikes get through. This should do it. Armor 3. There we go, finally. At this point, I was kind of rooting for him. No help from the Cypher deck right now, so that is essential. That's the whole play right now. They now control Objective 2, but they've got company. Objective 3 is free and clear as long as they can move somebody up in there. And Objective 1 is still a delicate situation. All right, the train is straightened out up at the front. We've got the curve back here at the end. Duskwolf is going to get 1 more arc charge in the hopes that he can finally get some work done from the back row. Ranger Fire Team is going to get Discordian Agitator, which gives them all an additional melee attack. Start with the Ripper going into the Paladin Commander. Ripper spinning up. With 5 strikes. Paladin defense 3. 4 get through. It wouldn't be the craziest dice roll in this game. 3 armor. And she's down barely. Paladin Commander goes down, which means the Rail Rifle will now fire into this guy. Rail Rifle, I mean Battle Rifle, because we want to save the spike on the Rail Rifle. Wow, all right. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 strikes. 8 strikes, Firebrand defense 3, no cover because Cortex is charged. 5 strikes get through. 5 strikes, POW 4, trying to break armor 3 a bunch of times. How'd we do? 2 health off. This could be a really clutch moment for the Marcher Wolves right now, as he charges up the Mark II problem solver and sights in on that juicy arc relay on his back. 2 arc, Rat 4. Very nice, had me worried there for a second. 4, 5, 6, 7 strikes. Defense 3 on the Firebrand. Wow, 5 strikes get through. 5 strikes on a POW 5 weapon. We're going to spike 1 to bring his armor down to 2. He very dead. Glorious entrance, hole gets burrowed through his back and he falls off, which is like the 3rd time he's fallen off the stack. He should probably stop climbing up there. The solo move, the Hunter is going to scamper up onto these boxes and try to put a bullet through the Weaver. At 6 with his sniper rifle. And a nice little 5 strikes. Defense 3 from the Weaver. 3 shots get through. POW 4 against armor 3, looking for 6 strikes to drop him. And 6 strikes he gets. Right through the back. And then he will drop down as his ranger move. and take over that objective. With that, we're gonna have to call this one for the Marcher Worlds, because here's the situation. We've got 1 turn left to go. Voss could take that objective, and the Paladins could probably come back, but even if they somehow wrecked face all over here, they don't have the movement to get onto objective 2. And even if they did, that would give them 5 points to his 3 points, so they would still lose by a point. So absolutely astounding. Hope you guys enjoyed the train scenario. I had good fun with the physics and the playing around with it. I think Artemis Fang might be the MVP, just for that bold sacrifice play at the beginning to steal those 2 points, or to deny those 2 points. All right, so we'll get that in Marcher World's victory. The Justicar will eventually clean out the train, but he is none too happy about being used as bait.
Commander Taria, the Justicar has been brought aboard. He wants to speak with you urgently.
He can wait. Tell him I know where Sunset is. Tell him I know where the Marcher Warcaster is.
And that wraps up today's episode of Jericho Reach. You can expect us to be back on the normal schedule, so the next episode will come out in 2 weeks' time, alternating weeks with our Fallout Wasteland Warfare narrative campaign. As usual, let us know in the comments what you liked, what you didn't like, what you want to see in the future, and we'll see where it goes. Thanks for watching.